you're right. I mean, I do hear the discomfort from a lot of people, and it breaks my heart, of course, because I'm the mayor of all Montrealers, all of them. So the reality is that, though, before the law was passed, we did go to Quebec and mention how important it was that we would respect the historic rights and traditions, and how do we ensure quality of services for everyone? That's the core business of the city. So though it is, they have the right to do a law at the Quebec level, here in Montreal, we're so proud to be a cosmopolitan city. And, the city was built on many communities' work and involvement. So I want to tell Montrealers that I hear them, and we will adapt messages and things in a way that hopefully doesn't create discomfort, though we do have to follow the law.
Montreal Mayor Valérie Plante on with Aaron and Natasha about the 311 info line and website debacle implementing regulations of Bill 96. And the city and Mayor Plante are being called out for their lack of response to Bill 96. In Martine Saint-Victor's latest op-ed for the Montreal Gazette, published last week, she describes their lack of approach as an embarrassing letdown, starting with Montreal's 311 recording, which he says doubles as a camouflage polygraph. And I really want to point this out because a lot of people in the English-speaking community sometimes say, oh, we're alone and Francophones don't speak out. Well, now you're going to have two Francophones speaking out because Martine Saint-Victor joins me right now. Martine, always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. Good morning, David.
Good morning. So, Martine, I loved your take in the Gazette last week. Tell me more about your reaction to the city of Montreal and Valérie Plante's response to Bill 96.
Well, I think, you said in your intro that there were two Francophones. I think we're many more who were disappointed and shocked by not only the messages, but by the positioning of our beloved city. In the op-ed, I do make a comparison to, in the U.S., for example, the mayor of Pittsburgh, when Donald Trump pulled out of the Paris Accord, the mayor of Pittsburgh said, well, we're going to fight this and we're going to bring ourselves back into the Accord. And so the mayor made an arrangement with the mayor of Paris. Now, am I comparing Bill 96 to the Paris Accord? Of course not. What I'm comparing is how the mayor stepped up for his city. Because he, at the time, said, hey, Pittsburgh, we're making great strides when it comes to climate change and climate engagement. We need the Paris Accord. I owe this to my citizens. And I feel the same way about this new bill. And there was no fight. There was no fight from our mayor. And look at today, you have across the province, you have over 23 cities and towns who are contesting the new law. And so why isn't Montreal doing like Gatineau or like the eastern townships or like Côte-Saint-Luc or like Westmount or like, and so forth. And so this is what the disappointment is. And David, you're a lawyer. I am not. So you understand that it's very intricate. I'm not suggesting that it's easy at all. I'm not even suggesting that it's winnable. What I'm suggesting is that it would have been great to have a mayor fight for what she knows is really the fabric of her city, which is to respect the rights of every citizen, and I don't think respecting the rights of every citizen is going to take away Montreal's francophone status. And I do state that in my op-ed that I love the fact that Montreal is a francophone city, but many things can be true at once. It can be a francophone city, but it can also not impede on the rights of anglophones. And this is what this bill does. And I think, beyond the law, beyond the application of the law, the question is really how does it make people feel? It doesn't make people feel great. You're making Montrealers feel like strangers in their own city. And for me, it comes down to this: what does this do to our fabric? What does this do to our fellow citizens?
And what is the job of a mayor if not to protect that, to promote that? And what's troubling throughout this fiasco is that, as you write eloquently, the fact is that the mayor doesn't seem to be even considering that there could be a pushback here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for me, the disappointment is really that I thought Montreal, being such a unique city, was going to put up a fight. And to see that there was no fight at all, that's where the letdown is. I think, as far as the message, yes, it's embarrassing, but it's almost a bureaucratic. It's like dropping a bureaucratic football. I think there are mistakes can be made. I think more than the message is what it means, and the fact that we just laid down and did not fight for our fellow citizens. That's really what broke my heart. And more than anything else, it just really made me sad.
In your work, you interact with a lot of businesses, both that are doing business in Quebec, but also businesses that are looking to do business in Quebec and do business in Canada, international companies. You travel a lot around the world, talking to a lot of different businesses. Are you getting the sense that all of this and these types of embarrassments, and I agree with you, it's sad, but it's also just plain embarrassing for a city like Montreal. But beyond Bill 96 and it impacts, do you think it hurts the image of Montreal and it hurts its capacity to attract investment?
Yeah, I think about attracting investments. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't answer that. But I will say this: there are no better ambassadors for the city than the citizens of Montreal. And right now, we're hurt. Anybody who's traveled outside of Montreal, and you don't have to go very far, we know that what makes our city so special is that accent aigu in the E in Montreal. It's that French flair, because that is part of our history. We're a francophone city. But that does not mean that we need to push away the Anglophone fabric of the city. And so, as I've mentioned, many things can be true at once. And I really do feel like the rights of Anglophones, the rights of people who are just settling in our city, are being trampled on, and that's what makes me sad.
Well, Martine, as always, very insightful. I truly appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, David, for having me. Have a good day. You
too. Martine Saint-Victor, who wrote an op-ed in the Gazette last week about the situation with Montreal. Take some time, go read it. It says a lot about, and it encompasses what a lot of Francophones are feeling and thinking about what's going on with the implementation of Bill 96. And as I was saying, trust me, you listeners out there from the English-speaking community, you are not alone. And something's happening also on the business end of this. Something is happening, and I hope we will wake up soon, because in more ways than one right now, Quebec is definitely burning.